The existence of evil has been a continuing interest in your novel since The Surgeon. In Body Double, you investigate, through Maura Isles and the circumstances surrounding her birth, whether being a killer is something one can inherit genetically. Do you have your own views on that?
It gets back to an age-old question of nature versus nurture. Are killers born or are they made? I think there's a little bit of both going on. There are indications that there may be some genetic component. There is a family in Holland, an extended family, where it appears every single man in that family has served time in prison for a violent crime. We do know there is a genetic abnormality called the double Y syndrome. Boys who are born with 2 Y chromosomes almost invariably are much more aggressive. And then there are these sort of episodic things that happen. One of the most interesting cases I heard about was a family in Oregon, in the United States. The young man called the police one day and reported that his father had raped his girlfriend. And by the way, he said, there are children, girls disappearing in the neighborhood, and I think my father may be involved. Well, when the police investigated, they dug up the father's backyard and found the remains of these little girls. But the really strange twist in that was that the young man's grandfather at that moment was spending time in prison for killing young girls and burying them in his backyard. So we have a grandfather and a father who are both serial killers doing quite similar things. You have to wonder when you read this, is there a genetic component? And I think there probably may be to certain criminals.
In the Mephisto Club, you take the existence of evil to a whole new level. Could you tell us something about this?
Well, I've been interested in evil for a long time, and it's not just an academic thing. I have been exposed to a murder in my childhood. I had a very good family friend who I adored, a man I used to call my uncle. And he was later convicted of having murdered his sister-in-law in quite a brutal way. She was beaten to death and may have died from drowning in the toilet. So ever since then I have wondered, what is it that makes a seemingly ordinary person do something quite awful? And I think that in my own questions about evil, I wondered if there was a universal concept, some explanation that could encompass why it is even in existence among us. And the Mephisto Club is an exploration of that.